Hey everybody, this is Chad Warren. The website is chad-warren.com. I am so excited because I get to open my first mystery box at crypto.com. Every mystery box contains a crow reward. So a crow is the token created by crypto.com, and it's kind of like if you have a bank account where they can round up to the dollar every time you make a transaction to put some of your money in your savings account. So it's an incentive. As much as I understand as a novice crypto investor, is that the basic point of all these different tokens, okay, is that the new currency is data, and data studies what do people pay attention to, right? So attention equals potential value. So let's just see. I've earned 25 diamonds through missions, and missions are crypto.com's way of rewarding you for learning about crypto. So I'm spending the 25 diamonds that I've earned. You got a silver box, tap to open. Ah, there it is. My internet is slow. I think it slows down when I use the screen recorder. Okay. What did I get? Yeah, but, oh, here it comes. You receive 1.2 Crow. Is that a lot? I don't know. You can withdraw it to your Crow wallet at any time. I guess I want to withdraw that. Right? Withdraw. Okay. To Crow wallet. All? I don't even know. This is how complicated. Okay, amount. 1.2 Crow, withdraw to Crow wallet. Total amount. Where would it be if it weren't in the wallet? You transferred 1.2 Crow to your Crow wallet. Now, see, this is why people don't want to fool with cryptocurrency, because it's a big learning curve. So my question is, when they're talking about transferring, do they mean that this appears to be what they mean, that my rewards is some kind of a wallet itself, and these wallets are just, I guess, like internet addresses, which are these strings of numbers that are these keys to this file transfer of digits. Okay, so let's see. All right, so here we'll show more about the missions. There are no diamonds because I spent them all. Yeah, and I don't understand this. Why does there have to be a vault, right? So like, okay, these are daily missions, right? So every day you can just status check and unlock this mission area, and you're given so many diamonds for that. And then they go, you have to push a button for them to go into the vault. So if you didn't push the button, would they expire? Don't understand that. And I think Coinbase is more well known for paying you to learn about crypto. And I would have to look at my portfolio there to see, to compare how much did I earn in various crypto tokens by learning about them. That'd be very complicated, right? You'd have to somehow equate the value of all of them. And like I said, that's what I understand about this fundamentally is that the difference is everybody agreed on what the value of a dollar or a piece of gold is. And yeah, so how does that work? Like, that's why that these equities, whether they be stocks or commodities, which is I guess what the cryptocurrency tokens would be, fluctuate in value, and then I think what I'm the basic point of what my question here is that I don't think that you really can. Beauty is always in the eye of the beholder. You know, the value that we put on things is always arbitrary. It's decided amongst people. So that would be just as true for a bar of gold or a US dollar as it would be this cryptocurrency. So, and then just in my study of life and philosophy and wisdom, what I feel now as a 45-year-old man who's been always very interested in critical thinking and debate is that it's typically that these supposed opposites, left and right politically, or Christianity and the occult, that really, when you look into it, it's like, I can't believe I'm referencing David Icke. I don't know how much I trust him, but he did coin a phrase that is useful: opposames, right? Like, if you look at it's my understanding that there's a lot of animosity between Indians and Pakistanis, right? But like, that is pretty arbitrary how the British uh, colonized that area and drew these boundaries. So people just like to play this us versus them game, however silly it may be. So, and I think that it's very understandable to be concerned that cryptocurrency is part of a globalist desire to have us all more and more on the internet because they can control that in a monopolistic way. Whereas, you know, if you pay somebody $50 to buy some weed, then that is not as easily to track. But at the same time, you know, money has been digital since the 70s, right? When the US dollar was taken off the gold standard, and that's when you started having ATM machines at the bank. And then, of course, back in 1915, the US dollar was no longer based on tangible assets like gold. It was based on the perception, again, of the power of the United States, which is called a fiat dollar. And then that term fiat goes back to Rome, and all these Western nations are just a franchise version of the Roman Empire that all appears to be crumbling, by the way, which is a part of this big shift in this concern. It's like people are jumping onto the crypto bandwagon because there's money to be made, but, you know, a student of history would say it's just always out of the frying pan into the fire, and that the people that cause the breakdown, the people that made the U.S. dollar in the United States, they are the globalists. So this whole America thing has been a lie, right? You know, if you give lip service to freedom, and then the reason why they did was because they had to finish a project which was to connect the whole world through international trade. So America was used as a front for an organized crime operation, because it's really these super rich people, oligopoly, that run all these nations. But that's where this point of this conversation comes in, is that unfortunately, as impossible as this game may seem, that we are poor, dealing with people that have a lot of money, and thus they have, all the power of computers. They can turn everything off at their whim. And that, they have a lot of intelligence, a lot of physical strength through the military, etc. So it's understandable that people don't want to deal with thinking about stuff. You're thinking too hard, but you're gonna have to deal with it. So why not, decide how much you want to play this game? And speaking of games, I am showing you this video to encourage you to download the Publish0x app through my affiliate link, which I will show you here in a moment. Yeah, so you have daily ways to earn these incentives that you can exchange for Crow. And then, of course, when anytime somebody is talking on a video, they are advertising the product. And so, disclaimer, I have affiliate links, and I do make a commission off of the propagation of these ideas. So that's, again, my point is that whether people are conscious of it or not, they're always advertising. And that's a big point of what this alternative media is that, well, now it's a lot cheaper to advertise because people will just share their reviews of stuff based on their genuine interest, which is really what you want to get at anyway, versus fake spokespeople or testimonials on a commercial. And then we're producing the commercial, right, by making the video. Anyway, I just find all this stuff fascinating. All right, so so you have the daily quests. If you buy or sell $20 of crypto, you get 5. If you buy 500, you get 60. Crypto Masters, let's see what I can learn about. Level up your crypto knowledge by reading an article in the university. Okay. So this is what I'm interested to see. I thought I had already run through all of these. I guess this is the university they're speaking of. But maybe every day I get to learn about stuff. So, and this is a component of this great reset of this blockchain. The blockchain technology of having this digital register of data transfers will affect everything just like the internet did. So if you're confused by it now, just realize, like you said, maybe, oh, I'm not going to get a cell phone. You're going to get a cell phone, and you're going to be fooling with all this metaverse stuff. But this is an example, I would say, of what I understand a decentralized autonomous organization, which is the next level. If 100 years ago plus you had the Industrial Revolution with the assembly line of Ford Motor Cars as an example, today you have the next level because of this, I think it's called the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and that is a network of networks, right? So it's all data is taking the place of oil, for example, and capital. And that fits within the astrological concept of the age of Aquarius, where now everything is in the air, it's in the cloud, right? We're quantum physics. Now we're focusing more on that really the action is happening in the, if you looked at it like anatomy and physiology, instead of the material, which is the male energy of structure, your skeleton in your body, the female energy would be the physiology, right? So the structure is the vessel to hold the spirit in, and then we're seeing all this technological counterpoint to that concept. What are stable coins and how do they work? In this article, you will learn the the 101 of this crypto token class, how they work, how to buy them, and their pros and cons. February 25th of this year, beginner level. Stable coins are cryptocurrencies whose value is pegged to a fiat currency like the US dollar. Okay, I've heard of this. There's US dollar tokens. So again, this is this being cryptocurrencies and the blockchain is has this natural duality to it, to where especially at first we were hearing, oh, this is how smugglers on the black web are selling slave children and hiding their transactions. Okay, so, but then it looks more to me as I look into it that, wait a minute, this is only increasing the ability for my digital money to be tracked, to be censored based on politics, to be hacked. And then, like, the only real private coin that I'm aware of is Monero, and I'm not sure how that is achieved. But and then again, you see the governments of the world, which are all connected to the central banks and the bankers, the Rothschilds, these type of people. They're heavily promoting these concepts like this stable coin of a US dollar token. Key takeaways: designed to maintain price stability, stablecoins bridge the gap between fiat and cryptocurrencies. They are pegged to traditional assets such as fiat currencies or gold. There's one called PAX-G, which is tied to physical gold, making them a less volatile alternative than typical cryptocurrencies. And I will say, as an aside of my experience in owning precious metals, you want to talk about anxiety. It's similar to this cryptocurrency thing. Okay, so now I have this, but now I have to hide it, right? You know, from my wife. You know what I mean? So then all this kind of thinking is this the danger of this whole, you know, depending on these money systems which we don't have control over, as opposed to traditional stocks, which would be stocks of food, you know, like growing your own food and having a farm. Ooh. Promising faster transactions and lower costs, stable coins are an attractive alternative to traditional banking. What does that mean? Does that mean... That's a question I'm starting to have. Is like, I've been pulling over maybe just $100 a month from my checking account into this crypto.com, and it's interesting because it wasn't that many months ago that the bank did not allow that. So that is fascinating to me, with that's changing that quick. So with that, I mean, and again, it's the people that run the banks that are also running this system. Oh boy, Rashawn added a new story. I don't understand Snapchat yet. I have to figure that out. They allow traders to keep their money in the crypto ecosystem while storing them in a stable asset between trades or during volatile periods. Okay, so that is a question. In the crypto.com app, which I guess you can get there online as well as an app, I'm not sure, but it has you have, like, I think it says accounts, and then you have a crypto wallet, and then it says a fiat wallet, and I haven't figured that out. Like, how does that work? How do I put money into this? Maybe that's like a US dollar token. I don't know. And then what else does it have? Oh, you can use your debit cards or credit cards to transfer funds, as well as your bank account. But what makes this type of cryptocurrency so special compared to classic crypto tokens? You're probably aware of the drastic ups and downs of valuation of some traditional cryptocurrencies within a short period of time. Bitcoin has taken quite a hit. I didn't read I didn't watch BitBoy Crypto's analysis, but what I could read from the YouTube thumbnail, it was saying that there are, very rich people that control all of this system, and they dumped crypto. I guess that means they sold a large volume of it. This is like what George Soros does to cause these overthrow of countries, and it's legal. That they purposely are scaring a certain amount of people that, oh, the value of my crypto is now diminished, so I maybe don't want to rush to crypto, or they want to get scared and they sell it. So who knows, You recalling the historical price of Bitcoin in February of 2021, a year ago, it nearly doubled in price from around 32,000 US dollars to 58,000, but then dropped dramatically and made back to 34,000. Such fluctuations, or so-called short-term volatility, make these cryptocurrencies unfavorable for everyday use by the public. Okay, so that brings up the topic of commodities. So I am a very novice investor, but it sounds like every day on social media, some Forex trader, day trader, is trying to get me to invest money through them or what have you. And yeah, you want to spend your whole day following the market, you can time the market. But then, of course, the other strategy is called dollar cost averaging or something like that. And it just is a fancy way of saying just buy a little bit every month. Don't worry about the price of it, because overall, and there's studies that back this up. If you bought a little bit each month versus all 10,000 at once, then you see over time that you would do better to just buy a little each month and not stress out about it. But the trend of cryptocurrency is interesting because it gets all of these people into this very volatile investment thing because they hear about all this money being made and it's new. Serving, oh yes, I see what they're saying is I'm not, I mean, even though I'm worried, it seems obvious that this war going on is just to hide all the destruction caused by these globalists through the jabs, and then the fact that they are destroying their own economy on purpose, and switching over to these cryptocurrencies most likely, and certainly away from the US dollar being as valuable. But at the same time, I still can take my dollars, and even though there is inflation, I mean, you trust that the dollar is worth what it's worth. That's a good question. How do I contrast the US dollar with crypto in terms of hedging against inflation? You'd have to figure out the fees that you pay to withdraw it, because you can just use this like a debit card, and you have money in your crypto wallet, and then you transfer it over to, you have a physical debit card for crypto.com, and there's all these different ones that do different things. I have the blue one, whatever it's about, and so that's what I like, is that you can just look at, okay, this is how much I paid for the crypto, so I try to only spend from that when it is worth more than what I paid for it. And even though it is very volatile, it's not like I have to, typically that's easy to do. Serving the purpose of maintaining the value and purchasing power, pegging with assets can make stablecoins more resilient from market fluctuations in cryptocurrency space. For instance, one of the most popular stablecoins, Tether, okay, I thought that was token, so US dollar Tether is equal to $1 at nearly all times. Other popular stablecoins include the US dollar coin and Terra US dollar. So, and this is interesting because it's like making public what was very private, that the Federal Reserve is a private company. Well, now they are letting everybody in because anybody, I guess, can make these coins and stuff like that. And because they have control over the whole computing system, they feel it's just like the scam of America. You know, America was this illusion of freedom that they could put out there because they were creating it. And people don't know how to exist outside the system, so we end up going along with these things as consumers. Benefits of stable coins include lower volatility, lower cost of transactions, safe option to keep assets in the crypto ecosystem. So that's sounding like this answers the question that I had yesterday. I only put $100 of my monthly income because I didn't want it to be totally subject to volatility, but this is saying, oh, just get rid of your bank and put it over here. These benefits make stablecoins more competitive, but then the problem with that is I like going to Centennial Bank because they have these ATMs where you can talk to a person. These benefits make stablecoins more competitive than other crypto tokens as they touch on consumer and business pain points of Bitcoin and other tokens that offer neither stability nor scalability to real-time transactions. Today, the total market capitalization of all the stablecoins in the world has reached more than 150 billion US dollars. That means that how much total amount of the stablecoins exist. They command more than half of the global crypto trade volume, stablecoins, making them an important asset in the decentralized finance DeFi ecosystem. These are the top stablecoins by market capitalization on the 18th of February, according to Crypto.com. Prices, top stablecoins by market capitalization. Change that a little bit. Tether, US dollar coin, Binance, Terra US dollar, DAI, True USD. Okay. What are they used for? 4 types. Fiat collateralized stablecoins, the most popular. Ooh, collateralized, that sounds all scammy, like how they debt derivative swaps or something. Crypto-backed stablecoins, commodity-backed stablecoins, and non-collateralized. You know, like remember in 07 the housing crisis occurred because banks were lending to people that didn't have the credit worthiness to repay their loans because they knew the government would bail them out. And then derivatives, people took that debt and turned it into a security, something that you could invest in. And then, you know, it's just the problem with government regulation is that it's all scam, and then it turns into, oh, well, we have to just let the people decide, you know, this democratization, but then of course that's a scam too, because we're not really in control of this, I would presume. The primary use for a stablecoin is facilitating trades on crypto exchanges. Instead of buying Bitcoin directly with fiat currency, like the US dollar, traders often exchange fiat for a stable coin. and then execute a trade with a stable coin for another currency like Bitcoin or Ether. Hmm. Okay, so then that is suggesting that I get it now. They're encouraging you to put your US to transfer over into this crypto ecosystem. Stablecoins can also act as payment alternatives. By utilizing stablecoins, businesses can accept payments at a very low cost, and governments could run conditional cash transfer programs easier than before. Like the welfare programs. Due to its fast as thunder transactions, stablecoins can also be used to distribute monetary aid to beneficiaries worldwide. So shifting from the debit card terminal middleman fee structure to this structure without. No, that's not true because you'd still be putting a card in there. Another use for stablecoins is to send funds across international borders. Sol Digital, a stablecoin that's pegged to the Sol, Peru's national currency, launched on the Stellar blockchain in September. It can be, okay, yeah, it can be exchanged between individuals in different countries without third-party fees for cross-border money transfers. Yes, so this is the odd deal where I'm kind of an anarchist type of person, but the Klaus Schwab, who's the head of the International Monetary Fund, gets on TV and says all these things that you wouldn't think would be okay to say, like, yeah, Justin Trudeau and Angela Merkel and Bill Gates, they all went through my indoctrination program in the 90s to be a global leader, and he's saying these governments are worthless. And I'm like, I agree, but I don't like you. So that's interesting because this circumnavigates this third party fee for cross border money transfers, which I assume would be a political legal hurdle that it's overcoming. How do they work? Well, they're pegged near perfectly one-to-one through various methods, including the reserving of pegged assets, US dollar coins or Tether. Okay, so again, this is the democratization of private reserves. It refers to a fully collateralized system backed by the pegged asset. Yeah, but see, that's the problem, is that Rothschild and Soros, that's what they do for a living. The old story about the Rothschilds is that there was the war with Napoleon, and everybody would follow what the Rothschilds were doing in tying their investments to hit the big whale, right? Figuring they would make money, and he lied to them and had a rumor be spread that Napoleon won, which got all the people to dump their British Treasury bonds, figuring they wouldn't be worth anything anymore since they're not in control of the country. And then he bought them all up, and then that's how he took over the Bank of London, and then that's where central banking comes from. So again, that's this duality. I may not like that, but I have to respect that, like, that's who's really running the world. So if you can't beat them, join them. Which, what choice do you have? I don't know. Other than to totally go off the internet would be the only one I would know of. It refers to a fully collateralized system backed by the pegged asset where arbitrators, I've heard of arbiters, I don't know what that means, are incentivized by helping to stabilize the price. Okay, so yeah, again, that's the history of the Rothschild banking dynasty, that he sent family members, they knew they were loyal to each other, and sent them to these different cities. And that's like the Knights Templar is another example of how this international money trade system occurred, so that you could bring a piece of paper going from London to Paris and then go to one of their banks, right? And they would honor that based on this code system that they trusted that was authentic. And that's the same thing we're seeing with the code system necessary with cryptocurrency. Cryptography is codes. And it has to do with the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. That should be a whole crypto show. Okay. When the price of the stable coin is lower than the pegged asset, the arbitrageurs, the globalist oligarchs, can buy cheaper stablecoin, which can then be redeemed for $1 each. So see, that's where these people make money. Traditionally, it's been a monopoly to make money off of the money system itself, right? This is fascinating. Which can then be redeemed for $1 each. Similarly, when the price is higher than the pegged asset, they can sell the coins to gain profits. Dual coins. So that's supposedly this win-win situation between the poor people and the super rich people. We're depending on them to secure and regulate markets, and then they don't want competition, so they keep us within their ecosystems. Dual coins. Two coins exist in these kinds of systems, where one is the pegged coin, while a secondary coin is used to absorb the volatility of the pegged coin. Algorithmic coins, instead of using any reserve or being backed by assets, these kinds of stablecoins use a fully algorithmic approach to adjust the supply of the stablecoin in response to price fluctuations, similar to how the Fed does. However, a stable algorithmic coin only exists in theory. None currently exist in the market. And that's interesting, because it's my understanding that trades on Wall Street are predominantly have been done by computers, affect the market more than the individual people for a long time. Leveraged loans, a DAI. Okay, I haven't heard of that yet. This kind of stablecoin is backed by an over-collateralized system. Okay, so collateralized has to do with loans. That's how loans work, right? You know, they have the money, you need the money, and they're making money off making money available to you. Kind of like a pawn shop is doing that with items. They're making the money off of the trade between money to an item. This kind of stablecoin is backed by the most successful example of it is DAI, in which the stablecoin is backed by PETH, and its value is correlated to Ethereum. Since the collaterals, that's what you put up in exchange, like, okay, if I don't pay the loan, you can take my property, are more volatile in terms of price, users need to have more than $1.50 worth of PETH to borrow $1 of DAI. If the collateral price falls sharply, the debt position will be liquidated, and the remaining amount of collateral will be returned to the user. Okay, so it's encouraging people to loan money to prop up the exchange, and then they are betting that the value will remain, and if not, then they will get some return. Are stablecoins safe? A common concern is that they're less secure than U.S. regulated bank accounts or money market funds. Investors can mitigate this in two ways. That's why at the bank it has that sign that says your account here is FDIC insured, But then we're seeing all kinds of tests on that where they are basically saying, oh, this is an emergency. We can take your money to save the nation. And then we're certainly seeing if, oh, somebody in Canada, they supported the trucker protest and gave $40 to it with a debit card. Oh, now the bank found out. Oh, now you're a terrorist. You don't have access to your money. So that would be the question, is crypto any better? Investors can mitigate this in two ways. The first is the classic crypto advice of do your own research before investing. And that's where I can't argue this, that is the age of Aquarius. We can't hide behind these leaders. We have to be directly cooperatively involved in all this stuff that's been behind the scenes. That's why we make YouTube videos versus Hollywood doing it and all that stuff. The first is the check the issuing entity. This is basic investment advice of doing your due diligence. Who's running the company? What's the history? Their history and past projects in detail before trusting them with your funds. Further, investors can easily move into other stablecoins or even other cryptocurrencies if investors lose confidence in a coin, as volatility is not an issue. However, based on its nature and mechanism, the risk of failure or volatility is near zero for established stablecoins if they are sufficiently pegged by the issuers. Okay, so all I heard there was you have to figure it out yourself. Currently, stablecoins regulations are still up to discussion in most jurisdictions. For example, in the U.S., the President's Working Group on Financial Markets, composed of the heads of the U.S. Treasury Department, Federal Reserve, Security and Exchange Commission, and I don't know what the CFTC is, has released a report in November of 21. It raises the risks related to lack of transparency. Oh, don't they do that a lot? Market integrity and investor protection. Legislation to regulate stablecoin issuers is proposed but yet to be enacted. So that's all assumed to be coming as regulation for all this. What's next for stablecoins? With the growing acceptance of cryptocurrencies and the steadiness that stablecoins bring to the DeFi, decentralized finance world, their integral role in the ecosystem, providing ease of trading crypto, staking. Staking is, I guess, kind of like a certificate of deposits at the bank. You know, they're rewarding you with a higher interest rate versus keeping it in a savings account, because you are giving them money that they can count on it not being as easy for you to take out, and you're rewarded for that. And lending is cemented. While legislation of some countries may place additional restrictions, we're seeing the cancellation of Russia because of this war. And I would say it's not about Russia. It's about, okay, so now we're saying nations can be restricted. And then that would beg the question of, well, can I depend on cryptocurrency to be able to evade government regulation? Because let's say you are a big believer in the U.S. government and its dollar. Well, the problem with that is that it has been based on forcing all these other countries to peg their currency to the petrodollar, which the U.S. created through war, and that's what all these wars in the Middle East are about. And then they are not, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, are like okay, America's dying, we're going our own way, and then that's all developing. So it does seem that there's questions about, do these super rich people really have the ability to control Russia canceling us and India and China, canceling us? You see, that's what you should be thinking. Don't get caught up in the, don't be a pawn in the game. Be the chess master that's the hand that moves the pieces. It is also anticipated that financial regulatory agencies and related stakeholders will continue to work closely on ways to foster financial innovation while minimizing associated risks. That's one thing I think that we should consider about globalization. A, that it is occurring whether we want it to or not. And then paradoxically, if we all feel bullied by the Klaus Schwabs and Pfizer and all this stuff, then we are being forced to value our global relationship, because that's what affects the items at my local grocery store, right, is more decided by that than local state or national government. So we would have more of an increased need to work out these problems because there's nowhere else to go. Learn more about stablecoins. Crypto.com offers the most popular stablecoins in the market for trading, including the US dollar coin, Tether, and Pax dollar. You can purchase them on our exchange or in the app. If you are new to crypto, take a look at the university and our help center. Okay. So see, this one kind of, I got tricked here, I will tell you that, because I thought that this was part of the, okay, I did, I'm stand corrected, I did earn 3 diamonds for reading that article. Now I understand. Now I will read more of those articles. Speaking of articles about crypto, I am going to put this up. I will show you. At a blogosphere that is all about crypto, and what will happen is that the reason why I like Publish0x is because you earn crypto just by reading these articles, just like we just saw there. Here it is. You earn crypto for reading and writing content. Over $429,000, $646 paid out to users. Sign up in 20 seconds. And really more valuable than that incentive is that you're going to increase the likelihood of profiting through cryptocurrency because you're going to read these articles. So, and then it has like a network marketing structure to where you can become an ambassador, which I am. And first, let me say, you have an affiliate link that you can put on any article. So you don't even have to read them. You could just share them in the groups on these social sites about crypto, and people will appreciate the article. They're very well done. And, and you're going to earn crypto on that. And then it has that affiliate network marketing aspect where when people hit and get started through the link that I share, that I'm going to be their upline, so that I will earn a percentage. I think it's like 5%. And then the way that works is this. I'll show you. We'll look at an article. Oh, pre-search is, I probably learned about from here. The pre-search is a search engine that rewards you with cryptocurrency. Okay, so this article has, that's the link that you sign up with when that pops up. 46 cents this person has earned in the past 7 hours off of this. So again, I think from a marketing perspective, it's not so much you're going to make all this crypto off of these articles, but what you are doing is your target marketing, you know, uh, and you can talk about stuff other than just cryptocurrency. Uh, but cryptocurrency affects everything, so that's pretty easy to hone in on that. But my point is that people can subscribe to you if because they like your writing, and you are able to market within your blog post, right? Like I will put this up there, and then they could sign up for the crypto.com card and then participate because they're interested in this learning, earning through learning. So it's a sales funnel, right? You're getting people in the door because you're not like, hey, do this. They are receiving the value of the article, and then they come to know, like, and trust you. That's what's the real valuable. Plus the other people that you meet in this ecosystem. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to show you how the money part of this works. Okay, so here, see, like this is their, affiliate offer. Earn $25 of Bitcoin on Nexo. Connect with me on Hive. Join me on Twitter. Okay, here's the source of the article. Here are the tags. You can like it or not. Crypto vile, somehow surviving in the world while learning and trying to adapt to the decentralization. Okay, now here it is, the tipping. Okay, so this money is made available by the creators of this website, and that you can slide this back or forth here. I have mine on 80. That may have been how it was originally put. I never send a 1 cent micro tip in crypto to the author and earn yourself as you read. Okay, so there's a measurable outcome. You're getting 80. You're getting 20% of a penny, and they have their own rewards pool that they do that with. So yeah, like something is better than nothing. But my goodness, how much would you have to read? You have to read 5 articles to get a penny. So then you'd have to read 500 to get $1. Yikes. But again, that's just the incentive that gets people in the door. Here's some other examples of articles. Chi-Fi bots. Play to earn. NFT battles are coming. Evidently, this is a big controversy. I don't play video games, but I do know enough that years ago, Electronic Arts really led the way of like, you got to keep upgrading. You got to buy all this stuff. We see this with Roblox and all that. So that's understandable that they wouldn't like that. That you're paying 60, 70 bucks for a game at the get-go, but that's just to get you in the door. I don't like that with marketing, where they tell you here, let's say it's video marketing, and then if after you get in the door, they're like, okay, and then you got to spend all this money for your website, for your advertising. I like being upfront. I don't think that's a good model. So that's the issue there. The monetary causes and implications of the French Revolution. That's very interesting to me. That's who's running all this stuff today. That's why we have the Statue of Liberty in America. 5 ways to pass down crypto wealth. Okay, so that's inheritance. There you go. So thank you for watching this. Please give me your likes, comments, and subscribe, and tell me what your feedback about this article. What is your, this is aimed at other novice crypto investors like myself, because while I like let's see, BitBoy Crypto and Crypto Authority, I think is his name. Those people help explain these concepts to a novice, but then there seems to be always a space for, just like if you were in class and you need study buddies for your homework. I mean, just to use the crypto.com card, which was one of the first to make that a debit card available in America. That takes a lot of learning how just to use that. And so that's what I intend for this blog, the audience for it to be. So any question or comment that you have is valuable. Just be respectful. And what should I check out next in regards to crypto? Okay, this is chad-warren.com signing off.